Hello everyone, it's James here. Welcome to this natural gas video. I did quite a long live stream yesterday, which I'll link at the end of this video. And I covered natural gas and of course the metals, other energies and all the other stuff, stocks and Bitcoin and so on. And I'll link that at the end of this video, but this is just a quick video to cover natural gas. Now we've rolled over into the new contract at the Henry Hub and also here at FXCM, which I'm currently trading for the futures. And you can see this big black candle is a roll gap. There's a weekend gap at the top there. I'm going to zoom into the 4-hour chart, and there's also a roll gap to the left hand side. Let's have a look at the 4-hour chart. And here you can see the gaps again. I've highlighted them in red. Unfortunately, FXCM shows them as a candle, so I've just highlighted them. So there's the weekend gap. There's the roll gap that we've just performed, and then there's the previous roll gap over there. So notice that that roll gap actually started this contract up in the upward direction. We only got up to the underside of that long-term trend line. Let's have a look. Sort of an old channel that I had before. We rejected from there for the second time. Previous to that was in March this year. And we came off the top there, and we've now rolled over even lower into a lower price. Let's go back to the 4-hour chart, and that's where we're trading today. Now, there's a couple of key and critical levels that I want to point out to you. First of all, on the rollover, we reached 3.75. Let's zoom in. Actually, we got to 373, and that's the very critical long-term pivot level for natural gas. It's an area that I often look to buy or sell off as we're approaching it, depending on the direction. I'll put a horizontal line there, actually, and it's a very important level on the chart. Let's make it purple and thicker. So there's the 375 level, or 373. Notice that we touched it, bounced up, and held quite well. On the 4-hour chart, we're below all the moving averages still. There's the 20 and the 50 stuck together on top of each other, and there's the 100 and the 200. So let's zoom out a bit. There's the weekend gap that I think might need to be filled. We can retest and maybe reach that. There's also this rollover gap, contract roll to the left-hand side, and a bit of a contract roll gap, fair value gap. Importantly, though, it's a triple top over here too, and that's actually the breakout level for this new, I think, upsurge in natural gas. My overall idea is that we're trading in a higher level, probably between $3 and $5 or $5.50, but more likely between $3.50 to $3.75 and $5.50 to $5.75. So I think we're heading up, and I'm now looking to buy. So I bought a small tranche here this morning. I wish I'd got it a little lower at $3.75, but I didn't. It was late on Friday, and of course we've had all the holidays. Happy Christmas to everyone, by the way, if you celebrate it, and if you don't, enjoy the vacation nevertheless. So here we are. I bought a small tranche, only 10%. We're below all the moving averages here on the 4-hour. We've got the rollover gap above us. We've got the weekend gap right up here. And I think there's a good chance of us resuming this move up. And I think really what we saw here was an impulse move, this big move up from the very low levels of 260, breaking out in the new contract. This contract was all up until we got to that weekend, and then moving down. And I think this is the impulse move, and what we've got here is the corrective move. And if I put a Fibonacci, if we're talking corrections, let's have a look how low we got. Let's draw that from the bottom to the top and have a quick look. And you can see we got through the 50% retracement level. We hit precisely the 618, there it is there, at 375, 373 in this case. So I think it's a pretty decent level. If we break down below there, I think we've got to get down through that rollover gap down to about 350 to 355. But with a bit of luck, this will hold. And if we retest the 375 level sometime in the next day or two, and maybe even get to 355, because I've got such a small position here to start with, I can add more. And I think I'll try it at 375 again if we get there, and then 355. Looking for the move up, and that could take most of this current new contract that we've just rolled into. So, folks, I hope that was useful. It's a weird time of the year because we're moving into another shortened week with New Year and thin markets. Markets were thin last week, but we saw massive moves. We could see the same this week. I see Bitcoin, everything else is beginning to move as we talk. And Bitcoin and natural gas often go together, funnily enough. It's an interesting observation, and there's not an indirect correlation. So have a great one. I'll see you soon. Eyes on the prize, searching for that sweet surprise. Prices rising in the skies. Henry Hub is calling. Gas trades are falling. In this game, gotta be all in.